sparks thinking and invites us to look at our world through a sharper, more reflective lens. Its insights are not just timely, but urgently relevant, and that is what makes today's session a real exciting one. I, Paul Chahoy, with Himanshu Tiwari, welcome you all to the launch of the book titled Strategy Paradox, a practical approach for real-world challenges, authored by Dr. Yashu V. Verma. Scott is the executive board member, FORE School of Management. He is an alumnus of IIT Delhi and IIM Calcutta, and is a seasoned business leader with over 4 decades of experience. He has held numerous pivotal roles in the industry and is the former COO and director of LG Electronics India Private Limited.
Joining him is Mr. Dwarkana, President of the PRISM Foundation and former Chairman of GSK, whose rich experience and leadership perspective promise to add depth to this conversation. I request our distinguished guest, Mr. Dwarkana and Dr. Yeshua to join the stage. I now request Professor Vasu, Convener, PRISM-FIMC 2025 and Dean Academics to welcome our guests for this happening. I now request Mr. P. Dwarkana to officially launch the book and perform the ribbon opening ceremony.
May I request the chairman to please come, sir? Yes. Or we can go down. We will come down. We'll come. Background. थोड़ा सा और शिफ्ट करिए यूपी के ऑप्शन वैसे थोड़ा सा आप थोड़ा सा साइड थोड़ा सा साइड
Thank you, sir. Now, without further ado, let's dive straight into the discussion.
Respected Chairperson Dr. P.B. Madhukarji, Dr. Vijay Gopal Pandey, very respected Guru Dr. Sahai, Dr. Sudhir Verma, and many other distinguished friends here. I think before, sir, I'll take 1 minute. I'm playing little bit duo, so my friend, dear friend, Dr. Verma will bear with me. I'm talking also as a president of the Dr. PRISM-FIMC Foundation. I have realized I must commend and acknowledge and thank Dr. Sudhir Verma and his magnificent team who have done incredibly great job. So I can say with all the respect, it is not an easy task. It's like performing a girl's marriage, and they have done superbly well while carrying on their own work. I can't acknowledge each person, but it's a leadership and the drive way they have done it, both non-teaching and teaching staff who have done a fantastic job. And I owe it to you, sir, as the chairperson of the board, and Dr. Pandisa and others for having given, and Dr. Governor, who is part of the board, for doing this. Because I will not get this opportunity. I was told one lesson in the management: seek when opportunity come, drive it. And when you wait for it, thank you very much. This is a deep sense of gratitude on behalf of Dr. PRISM-FIMC Foundation. It was done exceedingly well, and the feedback was superb. Since it's the last day, last session, I can say with a lot of confidence. Thank you. Now, I don't know how many people know. Do you know how many years we are together as friends, as colleagues? Dr. Verma, any guesses? Management is nothing but guess. Huh? You can never be wrong. You can justify whatever you say. Huh?
4 decades.
Not more than that. Okay. You see, you can take it, to be honest with you, since 93. And I think he is a board member. He has been very familiar here. Some things which you don't know, because in the earlier panel today they were talking, you said you should know beyond what is being taught in the class. Okay? One of the things you should know why it's important. I am not talking as an HR professional. I am talking as an elderly person. Know it beyond your own curriculum. That's very important. Here, you know about Dr. I don't want to embrace him, but I want to introduce him very differently. Here is a person who is a HR professional, COO, CEO, author, management thinker, mentor, and have done startups. I mean, very rare. I can speak for hours, but I can't write 2 pages because it requires different kinds of skills. So practice something is different from concepts. I think the people who can absorb the concepts and put it in practice is something very rare. I think he is one of those rare persons, what I call him. I had the fortune of attending his first book launch when Dr. PRISM-FIMC ji was also there, and I'm very fortunate, thanks to FORE School for having me given for this session to do it. What I call him, right hand Gary Sobers. Have you heard about Gary Field Sobers? Yeah, only front benchers may be knowing. I think go and Google it. He is a world-class player, West Indies cricketer, left-hander, who can bowl, bat, field, captain the team. He can bowl both spin and the fast pace. So Dr. Verma is something of that unique character. So, sir, with this, without much ado, I just want to say, Vermaji, you have written the last book nearly 15 years ago, which was very well acclaimed book. It's called The Passion, the Untold Story of LG. You have done with a lot of passion. You talked quite a lot about it. I just happened to be there. Tell me, you have now written a book which were just launched, The Strategy of Paradox. What is the paradoxical changes have taken place in the last 15 years in terms of strategy which prompted you to write this book?
Thank you, Dwarka sir. Let me tell you, he's a role model in the role profession. I have done a lot of things from Dwarka. And thanks, sir, Chairman sir, to come here. It shows your greatness, and I am really grateful to you. No, world has changed drastically. I wrote the book on LG, The Untold Story, because it was being quoted in those days in paper and rightly and wrongly, and it was breaking records and records and records. After that, when I wrote, I thought now nothing to write. But after I retired, I was exposed to two industries: steel industry, Tata Steel. I was a task a probationer, and consumer durable. But after retirement, I decided I'll take one company in one industry. So I was in petroleum, I was in FMCG. I cannot name two companies. I have a confidentiality agreement. They are among the top 10 Fortune companies. I have a very strong confidentiality agreement with them. Samsung, Korea, I advised, and so petroleum, and then I was advisor to two of the big fours who are strategizing for the corporates. So they took me also as an advisor. Now the things have totally changed. Technology and startups. I was in some way associated with Baiju also, and this gave me such a widespread exposure that one person cannot have being in one company or one industry or two industries. And then I thought this is the time to write something, because strategy is something, sir, you must have heard everywhere. It is believed strategy is a panacea. You use a strategy and it works out. No, it does not. It's a paradox. It is also highly misused word and misquoted word. It is like a tip of the iceberg. There are so many things which go in making a strategy. I have failed in making number of strategies, miserably failed. I have been part of success of some of these strategies, and that is what I have shared. Somewhere I have not shared the names of the companies because I can be sued, but there's nothing which is but for fact. And it is in a simple talking English language. This is how the practitioners talk about.
Thank you, sir. I like your book in page 49. I just happened to read it in the last 2 hours. Strategy is about winning, while planning is about playing. It's a very interesting phrase. Can you quickly elaborate, sir?
Yes. Planning is about play, but strategy you have to win. Because what is a strategy is you creating a unique and valuable positioning and be having a competitive advantage. I'll give you a couple of examples. They are absolutely non-traditional strategies, and I'll tell you in 2 to 3 sentences each. Elon Musk, when the EV industry was just taking up, he decided all his patents he is de-patenting. So any EV industry can take any of his patents without paying any charges. Absolutely non-traditional. It made the industry in next 10 years grow by 60%, and his market share, which was 80% in a market of 16% of the total automobile, he grew in 60%, 95%. Because others used the patents and the industry grew. Industry grew, he being the leader, he grew much bigger.
It's a great example. I think students, I think you have to say especially, please do understand, strategy and leadership are totally beaten words. You can interpret 100 ways what is strategy, what is the leadership. But I think what he has said is right. I think I just want to, with your permission, I just want to extend what Sony did to Kodak. Okay, is also a great example. Kodak had all the data, information, knowledge to convert into digital, but they did not do it. What is the strategy of this? They created the digital cameras where Sony came into limelight. So it's very important. Sometimes you have, but you need to have a strategy. You need to have a good leadership to drive the strategy into action. So just building on it, as you said, very the strategy versus execution. You know, when you talk about which is more important, why is it strategy is enough, or what is the execution, you touched upon your book. So would you like to just elaborate on that?
I have undergone one experience in LG. When LG started, let me first quote Jack Welch. Have you all heard G? Jack Welch in his book says that I don't believe in very strong strategies. Go by gut feeling and execute it. That's another extreme. Very strongly he has propagated in half of his book. One experience which I had undergone when LG started in India, LG Electronics, it had gone a study done by two global consulting companies, I'm not going to name them. Now both of them understood Indian market, R&D of LG, LG's strengths, etc. in South Korea, and they predicted that in 97 if LG starts, in 2007 it will make a turnover of 500 crore, and 2008 it will turn around, it may make a profit for the first time. These were the two well-known biggest consultants. 97 we started in April, 97 December we had financial the calendar year, and we made a turnover of 500 crore. 97 and we broke even. 98 we did 1,000 crore. 99 we did 2,000 crore. 94 we did 8,000 crore with huge profit. So strategy is only one part, and they have made out the strategy on which we work. It is the execution which is the most important. And in execution, it is the passion, and it is known all over. LG created passion. There were a lot of directors of the institutes here. They were saying, how do you teach people to work as a team? Let me tell you, in classroom, you can talk about 4 steps: walking, storming, norming, forming, etc., etc. We made a very simple rule. Because when we started, everyone had to perform from the second day. They were from different companies, they were Korean, there were huge conflicts. One rule was made: if you have a conflict, you will not go to your boss, their bosses. They'll come to me. I was a VP HR. And my job was very simple. We had kept 10 rooms. I used to order for pizza and coke, put them in the room and lock it from outside. And we used to tell them, once you have resolved your conflict, give me a call, I know. I think there was no other solution, practical solution than this.
Very well, sir. So just building on it, one of the things, the eternal debate, now you clarified strategy versus execution, what is it? Also, there is a catchy word, I think they attribute to Peter Drucker, which said, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Yes, we all heard about it, and it's ongoing thing. What is your view, since you have strategized it and executed it? Where do you place culture?
So culture is one single most important thing. If it is in the blood of people, there is a culture of performance, achieving the performances, the boss does not have to follow the subordinate. They do it themselves. And this is also one of the things. And how can you create it? One is, there was a study which was known as the best Harvard study from 2000 to 2010. One of the findings was, for unexpected performance, give unexpected rewards which a person cannot dream of. This is one of the things. Second is, give him empowerment to do it. And third is, also hold him accountable. Something which is known as software, killer software. You should get the rewards which you actually deserve. India, that's a problem. Because of emotions, you give much bigger. But if I have done this and I have got a reward appropriate, I know I will not get more because of my relationship with the boss, or I will not get less because of my relationship. These three are very, very crucial things to change the performance-driven culture, and the culture performs automatically.
Very well said, sir. if you recall in the earlier panel also, when the directors were talking about, one of the things they were saying, you may be expert in finance, you may be expert in marketing, you can be an expert in supply chain or technology or manufacturing. Please go ahead and do it. But don't forget, people aspects, people-centric approach is important. This is where they talked about the emotional intelligence, emotional quotient, empathy, resilience, and so on. I think that we should not forget. The worst challenge today, which Dr. Vermaji has put it very well, it is not that adopting to technology, but how do you humanize it, that technology, which can be human-centric. This is what is important. Here, people are ultimately important, whether you are marketing or a GM or he has worked all the roles, I have worked in some of the roles. But most important, please remember, take away my money, take away my buildings, take away my brands, but leave my people with me. I will deliver another company in a decade. This is what Richard Dupree said in 1948 in PhD CEO. But what remains today, what he said, I think 10 years has become 3 years, but people have become the center of the whole thing. So I think it's very important that while we're having the technical skills, culture makes it important because it talks about the soft skills. So just building on it, incidentally, I have to add, I think, I just don't want to become too serious a dialogue. He is one of the poster boys in late 90s, when the business todays have started coming.
Along with work.
I said, it's very, very strange, that I was trying to get that magazine, I couldn't get it. One day I will come in. So it shows when you have a passion to do, whether any function you can do it. You may be specialized in one function, doesn't matter. But I think the important thing is that you need to show the passion. That's what he has written in his first book. He has touched upon it very well here itself. Just coming back to in organization, what role executive leadership, because we're talking about leadership, because without leadership is not enough, as we talked about Sony versus Kodak, should play in strategy formulation, execution, why it does not happen in many cases.
I quote a lady here. The first lady chairman of Fortune 10 companies. She's the only one, Mary Barra. About in middle of 2000s, two companies the experts were writing off. One was General Electric and the second was General Motors. That time, Mary Barra, I followed her. I've never met her, talked to her, but I followed her. Incredible executive leadership. She was made the CEO of General Motors, and one decision which she made turned around the whole company. It was written off in next 5 years and made out 3 strategies: bankruptcy strategy, bureaucracy strategy, and new company strategy. Already it was in practice. And Mary Barra decided, because there was one car which had been on the roads, Chevrolet Blue. It went topsy-turvy and about more than 200, 300 people died all over the world. She came, she hired the retired Auditor General of US government and said, you find out what is the reason. And they found out that beyond the speed of 140 kilometers of this car, the car engine stops. And because of the momentum, the car goes turtle and people die. She decided to take back all the cars from the world market, which meant $9 billion. There was a huge resistance from the board, huge resistance from the company. 9 billion means General Motors would have been wiped out. She somehow took the government help, arranged the money, and took back all the products. Within 2 years, she got a new car. Now, what had happened in the mind of the psyche of the customer? They had so much of confidence in Mary Barra. She's coming out with a new car. This will be the safest car. It was a hit without a trial. And that was the start of the turnaround of General Motors. So executive leader, this is a case example, and there are n numbers of them.
Lead from the front, walk the talk. I think the authenticity of that sort of it, which will convert into brands. See, especially for the marketing guys and sales, with just one message Dr. Vermaji is giving, please bear in mind, it is not just the brand strategy. It is not, it's not your A&P or below the line or above line marketing and many other digital and so on. But what is important, tone at the top. Tone at the top, the values you are talking about, the culture, that plays an important role. Why Tata is trusted? Tata is a brand, they will not cheat you. What they say, they preach. What they preach, they deliver. So I think these are very important when you're talking. Unfortunately, most of the time, we look at these hard skills, but we don't go into the soft skills. That is difficult to penetrate and visible.
Can I add the line of Tata? I started my career with Tata's. I was amazed to know, it is I quoted in the book, given examples, a lot of ILO, International Labour Organizations, rules, they were taken up from Tata Steel. 8 hours working. In 1910, Tata Steel had started. Maternity leave, 1920, Tata, they became law all over the world. That was the initiative, the human values. And that is why the trust in Tata, where Air India was sold to Tata at 10,000 crores, a very low price, though Air India is a bad shape. No one raised a finger that why such a low value. That is the trust. And that is why, I hope I'm not being paid or take it out. Then there's a fight between Miley Mystery and Noel Tata. Now, Government of India called the whole board and told Noel Tata, Miley Mystery wanted to take over. You all know about it. It's all in paper, and I have my own correction. He told Tata, Tata Group will be ruled by Tata. Whatever you have to do, I am doing. Miley Mystery has resigned, and 2 more people have resigned. That is the trust of Tata in the government and in the people, and that is where the backing. So trust, human values, honesty, integrity, and a huge, huge value which can never be substituted.
Thank you, sir. Now, next thing which I would like to elicit from you is you talked in detail about the strategy, execution, culture, and all that. But you have done a seminal work in the area of technology and startups, because that's something very rare which most of us have not done. That's why we are called Gary. So right-handed Gary Fixovers. What is that? How did you play? Not today. You talked about many years ago. Technology was not the big thing. It was just evolving in this current Bali world. But how the technology companies or startups, you talked about in detail in the book. I just had a glance. Can you throw some light on it? What made you?
Yeah, technology is a very dicey game. A lot of directors of the institutes where technology is a very safe. No, every 3 years and which 3 years, which technology I have to touch with technologists, they don't know. If I'm going for AI now, after 5 years, will it remain employable? They're very, very clear. So a lot of them are not going for AI. Now, I have a very interesting example. We are all using LCD and LED TVs. Am I right? In 2003 and 4, there were 2 technologies which were developed, plasma technology and LED technology. Let me tell you, plasma technology was a wonderful technology. I was hands-on to it. No diseases, nothing. LED has a lot of researches which have been suppressed by all the consumer durable companies that it can cause cancer, skin cancer under certain circumstances. But when the decision, 2 companies took decision for plasma technology, Panasonic and LG, and all others went for LED technology, because capex cost for LED was 50 times lesser than plasma technology. Plasma technology was very costly. So when about 20 global consumer durables went for plasma LED technology, they put in equal money, and it was a marketing game, and the money put it in the marketing brand building, that plasma lost and plasma is over. You've not heard of plasma technology. Both the global CEOs of LG and Panasonic were fired. Their decision was right, but the technology did not take off. Now, pharma is very important. Please understand that on an average, for a very primitive technology change, it takes 12 to 18 months. For a major change, it takes around 12 years. And on an average, out of 10,000 prototypes, only one succeeds with a cost of $350 million. It is such a risky game. AI is there. Already I'm aware, I'm associated with some group in US, which is saying, forget about the other thing, which is saying I am going to create an AI with emotions. And all the governments are opposing it, because then what will be the difference between a human being and a robot? And robot will be a much more effective and productive because it will never get tired if he has all the emotion. So the risks are very heavy, but technology companies, now how Google is doing? Google recruits the best technology person, whichever product they want, and then he builds up the team. But the glass technology never picked up. It also has a lot of issues which are going to be there. And we have to be very careful about ultimately it is the consumer. And ultimately technology has to ease the consumer's usage, which is the most important. And that is why there is a lot of ups and downs in technology.
So very well articulated, sir. I just want to take benefit of this since you're talking about Microsoft technology. There was a management training with me, selected from XLR in 97. He's an engineer, MBA. He was in HR, then he moved to Microsoft. He was in HR, then he moved to US headquarters. The other day he rang up, he said, I shifted from HR to quantum. He is looking after the quantum for Asia Pacific. And then next day he calls me up, I am in Hyderabad. Tomorrow I'm going to meet Chandrababu Naidu, Chief Minister, in Gandhinagar, in Visakhapatnam. Then, we're going to implement quantum. So this is what, adaptability. They talked about in the earlier panel also. Adaptability means not what you will keep doing it. You can extend, you can expand. This is something, you got a passport. Now you have to get a visa. You need to be adaptable and agile. Otherwise, you will be going out of the way. This is what Dr. Varmaji has been trying to say. Technology is important, but how do you adapt and make it relevant and contextual? This is what Dr. Pritam Singh used to say every time. Try to be adapt to the situation. A leader is one who can cope up with change, or you got the ability to change. So just to, one message I wanted you, because before we wrap it up, ask one or two questions. What is one message you want to give it to youngsters who are all here?
You are very lucky to have been born in India. You are very lucky to be having parents who are spending money on your education. Nowhere else it happens. Only problem is emotional resilience. Your average and Indian is much brighter than any other citizen all over the world. Average. Emotional stability and putting your best are the two things which you are lacking, and a lot of it has to be blamed to your parents. Because emotional, दो लगाएंगे आपको तो आप लोग अब तक emotional stable हो गए हो, नहीं लगाया ना, इसलिए नहीं होंगे. Tough situation unless you handle, you cannot, and your life is going to be much tougher than what we have faced. Be very clear.
Thank you very much. I'll take one question if you have and need to wrap it up. Any one question? I insist someone should be backbenchers. One question. There are two things, whether you understood or not at all understood. Okay? You see, no fear of failure. There's nothing like your. Any question? Yes, please.
I was teaching this subject, strategic management. Right? So when we talk about strategy, the focus, the primary facing focus is always on the top level management. But what about strategy in the lower level management? So we it is very less discussed. So my students also ask me, give us a strategic example of strategic management. How can we be? And I have since my industry experience is very low, I am not able to articulate. So I mean, Congratulations.
God, would you like to?
Up to a very senior level, up to a, maybe 15, 20 years, you are just a part of execution of a strategy. You cannot create a strategy. When my first job was, I was attached to a director of the Tata Steel, and I thought I made a strategy. They said paper leke andar aao, paper leke baal jao. Wow, that is it. Unless you have that exposure and everything, you are not a part. But you will be part of execution of the strategy.
No, I think I think one of the things you need to bear in mind is encourage people to keep thinking. Innovation. It may not be, for example, I come from Horlicks. The cap for the Horlicks, we converted steel to plastic, metal to plastic was done by a workman. But you, as a leader, you need to encourage him, understand the ecosystem in which you operate for 15 days. So I wish to wrap it up. Varmaji, it's a pleasure. We can keep talking for 1 hour or 2 hours, but we should seek another opportunity to spend it. But I think the way he explained it in a short term, is phenomenal. I think it's a great learning. Just to conclude, I think teamwork is very important. You may have a great talent, but talent will win only games. Virat Kohli won many games, but teamwork will win championships. So it's a teamwork with talent which makes the difference for transformation. So please, yesterday's competitors, today they become your partners. I mean, he talked about pharma companies. COVID vaccine was done by 2 competitors in many places. So these are best examples. I think it's worth reading it, be it an academician, be it a practitioner, be it a student, be it anyone else. I think it's worth reading this book. I would strongly urge, when you find time, please talk. It is not that because it is associated with his institute. I would recommend as a PRISM to recommend to the other business schools, because it has to start from the students and faculty at the same time to the practicing managers. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Subir Varman for giving this opportunity. Thank you, sir. It's an honor to.
Thank you, Dwarka. It is an honor to be interviewed. I hope I have passed.
Thank you, brother.
On behalf of everyone here, I extend our sincerest gratitude to Dr. Yashovi Verma and Mr. P. Dwarka. Thank you, sir, for sharing these profound insights. Your wisdom and experience have not only enhanced your work, but have also sparked a crucial conversation. With this, we now conclude our book launch event, and we encourage you all to get a copy of Strategy Paradox. And I now request Dr. Subir Verma, Director, FORE School of Management, to present our guest with an interview.
Sir, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now, we move to the most awaited session of the day that celebrates your hard work. We now invite Dr. Srimar Navasu, convener to PRISM 2025 and Dean of Academics, to commence the award ceremony. Thank you. First of all, thanks to the phenomenal MCs. But we have arrived at the heart of the ceremony. Apart from the fact that I am glad that I will be able to, and the team will be able to keep aside of the lead. But this is the exciting part. This is the announcement of the Best Paper Awards. But I wanted to give some data first of all. Phenomenal number of 268 papers from 5 different countries and various states of India. We have 140 participants in this conference.
an amazing number of technical sessions. Now, who got the best paper award, right?
Yes.
So this is a shocker for the reviewers, and many have complained we are not able to see the identity of the people who are getting the awards because those were masked. And everything went through a double, sometimes a triple review system, and a scorecard was released by the research committee under the able guidance of Dr. Karan Swami. So thanks to the research committee for doing such a meticulous work. Interestingly, the best paper, we also had a best paper track, and there was a convergence of the scores of the research committee with the chair of the technical session was selecting as the best paper in track, and these converged as well, so there was data triangulation. First, we'd like to announce and profusely thank Mr. Andreas Amsler. Would you please kindly come on the stage for sponsoring the Best Paper in Leadership Award? It's sponsored by the Graduate School of Finance and Government, and you will be surprised who's getting it. So we were not expecting it. The title of the paper, the award money is 50,000. The title of the paper is Strategic Management of Transfer of Technology in India's Defense Sector, Pathways for Effective Adoption, Implementation and Policy Development by Dr. Lakshman Singh from Hindustan Aeronautical Limited.
Andres, we encourage you to give the check and the certificate and the trophy.
Thanks for presenting. Would you like to say a few words?
Would you also like to say a few words?
Actually, I'm odd man in the house because my total experience is only from the industry. I joined Hindustan Aeronautics Limited after my BSc from Mr. Allahabad and BTech from this institute in 2005. I was started as a designer 3 years for mid-series aircraft and 50 aircraft in operations where we look after all types of strategies from workers, union issue to top boss strategy, execution issue. Now I'm fortunate that I'm transferred to the department project where I look after the collaborations. So all 20 years we work in the transfer technology. I done my PhD in transfer technology because before PhD I done my statistics, MSc, MA economics and MA in finance. All together I combined and then PhD, then I come to know that a lot of things I learned in the 20 years of my professional career, which is the missing from the academics also. Lot of research are done by the IITs, IIMs, MNITs and ITs, but it is only in the computers or the papers. If you remember that any institution is known by their product, you have any college in India which is known by their product, you will not find. But if you see the NATO countries, the US and European countries, the college and institution is known by their product. The technology. Laser is developed by some institution in Germany. CMOS sensor technology is done by some institutions only. It is not by industry, but here the product and technology developed by industries. So this is the gap which we try to fill. And on this all together, I published my book also on the tech transfer in defense domain and its mathematical modeling. One thing I would like to say, if you are director in the CMD, if you say something, people will say yes. Correct? But if you are in the lower stage, you say, "Bacha, we can write." Mathematics is the tool. When you speak with the mass, everybody will say yes. because nobody can deny it. It is a question, right? Differential equations, matrix, linear, everything. You say yes, you are correct. So that's why I use my book with the mathematics. When I say something, nobody can deny it. And because of this, 2 weeks back, I received appreciation from very respected General Bipin sir, the CDS Chauhan sir, and I also received appreciation from the Navy chief of my book because my book tells something which is missing in the policy making. Hope in the coming years it will go. And at my level, I know I will never found the stage, the forum where I can say something people say yes, you are correct. So this book, where I cannot reach my book and penetrate, I am very happy that I participated in the conference also. And this paper is a very small part of this book, and I hand over the book to the director sir also. He appreciated the piece also. I hope in coming, and yes, I could not take more time. The book is published by the Indian Journal of Defense Review, handled by Pushpen Kulsestra, and its launch at National Academy of Defense Production, Nagpur. And its opening was done by the Deputy NSA and the Ambassador of Moscow, Saran sir, and it was great so, and it reached to the approximately 1200 copies is already sold. Maximum copies purchased by the Vedanta Group and Tata Advanced Technologies. I am happy that yes, with this book I am going to be participating in the Bangalore for the UN Finance Conference, where the book is going to be at the national level to be adapt. Yes, what we are doing. Thank you very much, giving the platform.
Once again, Andrews, we thank you so much for the generosity of Frankfurt School and for being a very important part of our conference. Thank you. We also have 3 more overall Best Paper Awards. This year, sponsored by ICICI Bank. A huge round of applause. Is Mr. Sajid Bhagat here? Yes. Hi, Sajid. Thank you so much for working with us. We have bothered you so much, and then you were so eager to be part of it, and then you started working with us. And it was a complete collaborative process. You know, Mr. Bhagat is our alumnus as well, and thank you for this coming back to the alumnus in this very important journey we undertook in this conference. So 3 Best Paper Awards overall. The award money for the overall Best Paper Award, the first award is rupees 50,000. And the paper is titled Modeling the Antecedents of ChatGPT Usage and Continuance Intentions Among Students in Academia. Exploring the moderating role of personal innovativeness and personalization and integrated theory approach. This is written by Dr. Abdul Rahim Munshi from Baroda University and Pushpak Deshpande. Do we have them? Thanks, Sajid. Would you like to say a few words? The second Best Paper, second award, rupees 30,000. And the title of the paper is The Morality Gap in Fake Reviews, a study of moral disengagement and moral self-efficacy, written by Dr. Anjali Thukral, Keshav Mahavidyalaya, Ms. Nidhi Agrawal, Dr. Chandra Prakash Saini of SGT, Professor Pooja Kapoor of Manipur. Are they here? Yeah, please. Finally, the Best Paper Third Award, which is rupees 20,000, is titled Analyzing the Discrepancies Between Indian Brand Claims and Consumer Experience, written by Ms. Vanshika Sabharwal, Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Noida, Mr. Rahul Chidambaram, and Dr. Ritesh Dwivedi.
Thank you so much. We aspire to hear a few words from you.
It's never one to leave the opportunity. And of course, this also happens to be 25 years for me, having left FORE, and everything that I have achieved, obviously, I always attribute to Alma Mater. So, always a pleasure to come here. And I think it was brilliant, Dr. Verma, to attend that director's conclave. I think there was so much to learn. And, मैं जब वो बात हो रही थी तो मैं ही सोच रहा था कहीं ना कहीं हमने भी सुना था कि सरकारों से नहीं होता संस्कारों से होता है. I think हमारे संस्कार यहीं से बने, and we're very grateful. The entire batch of the value system which was built has obviously ensured that we have faced many challenges, but we continue to hold on. But also, I think the important thing is for everybody to understand that life beyond from here is not going to be easy. And therefore, I think these 2 years, while there has been importance laid to reading books, a book a month, 2 books a month, whatever, but I think the important thing is to keep trying to do that stress test every month in whatever circumstances that life is presenting. I think the camp is the best place to do that. Very, very glad to be participating in this. I think there was a mention about corporate social responsibility. And then there was also about ICR or individual social corporate responsibility. I think after 25 years, the only one thing that one wants to do is to keep coming back to the institute, paying back in whatever capacity. This sponsorship is a very small thing in terms of what we could do. I think me, my entire fellow batchmates are always willing to come to campus to contribute, to share the learnings that we've had, and most importantly, to help all of you to figure out how to manage that stress, which starts from day one. So there's no running away from it. So deal with it, be happy, and stay blessed. Thank you so much for
We conclude FIMC, PRISM-FIMC 2025. It's been a huge learning journey. And if I didn't have my faculty colleagues, I have no idea I could bother Professor Suri so much. I have no idea how I made demands on every dean who had tons of work, and I apologize if I wasn't even polite half the time while making those demands. Professor Swati, I don't know how many changes you had to make in the MC script, and without even sort of uttering a single negative sound, you said it will be done. Nothing would happen. I mean, I know somebody has my back, and that is our chairman, sir, and Dr. Verma. I believe during this period I have quarreled with him a lot, for which I apologize. But again, he has my back. So I knew some of the things that I was trying to do, and the team was trying to do, would get his support and get a lot of refinement from the kind of thinking that he brings to any endeavor. None of this would be successful without our red scholars, without our students. When we are in trouble, we go to them. Who takes you? Students. Who takes care of you? Students. Where do you find maximum reciprocity? Students. This is my experience. And I stand by it. It's time to announce what's FIMC 2026 is going to be. And the title, we will announce, sir, will you kindly announce the title?
Yeah.
Yeah, sir.
Me?
Yes.
I can announce.
Yes, sir. It's time for me to move on. A huge round of applause for Professor.
I think this conference, with the support of the PRISM, was an outstanding success, if I may humbly acknowledge it. But I think the kind of guidance and support and the blessing that we had from the entire foundation led by Dr. Diwakar, Bakshiji, Subrat, Ravi Chan, Arivansh Trivedi, Asha Bhandakar, Vipul Singh, the entire fraternity has been wonderful. The FORE management, the leadership team, I think you have been a blessing in everything we do. You have guided us, you have prevented us from making mistakes, and you have helped us charting new courses. So thank you very much to the entire leadership, team who are sitting so graciously in front of us. It is an acknowledgement of the fact that all of you trust so much. The entire team. Andreas, you flew over 5 continents, 5 seas, oceans to be with us. And I think that's a wonderful testimony to the kind of relationship that we have with the Frankfurt School. I don't think any partner would have taken so much trouble the way Andreas came with his team to be with us. And so did Julian McCarthy, who came from Unitar, and Kim Bong, who came from Malaysia with his team of these. So thank you to all my international partners for being with us. And certainly you have been a wonderful, I would say, alum for us. And whenever we need it, you are always there. And so are the other alums. Must acknowledge everybody, including others, for being kind with the time and with the inputs to make this conference a huge success. But then, like also said, nothing would have been possible without the students. We know how much we travel here. We know that a lot of you are not interested in whatever we speak. We know the pain and the agony that we make you undergo. Believe me, when we were studying, we also had the same problem, the same agony. We had the advantage that the auditorium used to be loud, and we could sleep at the back and sleep peacefully with our eyes open and listen to people speaking big words. In the small audience, in a small auditorium, this is difficult. But then, thank you for keeping your eyes awake, even if the mind was closed. What we find in us, we do understand and appreciate and acknowledge the kind of support that other people have. The FPM students, and I don't know what words do I have, but then this entire conference rode on your shoulders. And you did a wonderful job. So a big applause to all of you. Faculty members, I think, who were part of the organizing team and who also were not part of the organizing team. I wouldn't name anybody over here for the sake of not being lynched by those who I miss out on. As favoring few and not favoring others, I think faculty members, each one of you, have been there, and whether we needed you, the team needed you, you were there to help us out. So it has been a glorious run all these days, and I'm so proud of each one of you. Right? Leadership comes with a time of adversity and crisis. You led them well, you led them admirably, you led them humbly, and that's a wonderful thing. Thank you very much. Time to move on to FIMC 2026, and we thought that maybe we could make it even more purposeful, and with the kind of book that this is the lesson to all of us as faculty. Despite all the stressing schedule, if our board member writes a book, then I think all of us should also write a book. And I think this year we should take a pledge as each faculty member to contribute at least one book in whichever area we think is very close to us. So we need more Yashov Vermas in our midst. We need more Rahul Pratap Singh Kaurav, more Faisal Ahmad in our midst. So we need more books. So please do write books and cases. I'm sure we will do wonders. So thank you very much, sir, for showing us the light and showing us the way. So taking a leaf off from his book, the theme for the next conference is purposeful innovation, balancing AI with ethical responsibility. Thank you very much. And have a great evening and a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much. By the way, I haven't thanked the staff. Nothing would have moved unless until the admin would have been there, including putting the seats on which all of us are sitting. Thank you. I think that brings us to the closer.
Yes.
So,
All good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and congratulations to the winners. We request all the students to please be seated till the dignitaries leave. We request the dignitaries to join us for high tea. At your honor.
Go, mashallah.
Flying colors.